verse verse 16 in chapter 3, we have a little bit of a warning of Paul's writings. Peter here says that you need to be very careful, you need to discern these correctly, and he says here, starting in verse 15, he says, "And account that the long-suffering Yahuwah is salvation, even as our beloved brother Paul, also according to the wisdom given unto him, has written unto you. As also in all his Sepharim, speaking these things, in which are some things are hard to be understood, which they that are unlearned and unstable pervert, as they do also the other scriptures unto their own destruction. Yea, therefore, beloved, seeing ye know these things before, beware lest ye also be led away with the error of the lawless from all your steadfastness." So he says here that do not pervert Paul's teachings. He's like, don't go off the Torah. And in an older version of the Sefer, it actually says the error of the Torahlessness and the people of iniquity, and that is the going against the Torah. He says, don't pervert. He said there are people that pervert the rest of the scriptures, and there are people that pervert this now. And he says, watch out for this. Do not fall into the Torahlessness. So that means they still kept the Torah. That means the Torah was still in action. They still used the Torah. It was still a correct thing they used. It was not done away with. He says, don't fall into the Torahlessness, because you will see the same destruction as the Torahlessness, because they will be judged unto their own destruction without the Torah. And that's what he says here. He says, don't get confused. And that's why you have to be watch out for Paul's writings. You have to read it, understanding that you're missing a part of the context, understanding that these are things written to other people that were new into the Torah, that they were asking questions on. That's why we don't have a lot of what he is saying, why it doesn't make a lot of sense when he says these things, because half the stuff is missing from what we need to understand. But he says here that it's okay, be careful of what he says. He's not going against the Torah, it's just hard for those to understand, and they will pervert it because they do not understand it.